What's up, YouTube? Y'all come on in while I go get me some lunch real quick. Come on in. Peace, peace. I ain't gonna keep y'all long. I just wanted to say a quick few words about the many different Kenneka Jenkins stories that I've heard. I've heard so many different stories about Kenneka Jenkins, and I was sharing the new one that I didn't first hear it today. Today wasn't the first time that I heard the story, but it's the first time that I'm actually talking about when I first heard it. And what I'm talking about is the different Kenneka Jenkins stories. This one is now involving her brother. Apparently, Kenneka Jenkins' brother is some young gangbanger, alleged gangbanger, and this alleged gangbanger has multiple enemies, supposedly, and all the enemies that he has basically are all throughout Chicago or whatever. So, long story short, the story is now that she was killed by her brother's enemies, or people who were trying to retaliate against her brother. Now, being in America, from America, I'm not going to say that that doesn't make sense, that that's far-fetched, because it's not. People do revenge killings all the time, especially in the streets. Not even going to say it in front, especially in the streets. People do revenge killings all the time. People get mad because their cousin got shot, or niggas is mad because their brother got shot, or whatever the situation may be. So revenge killings pop off all the fucking time. That's not even what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is, before we get into it, and before we, I guess, dive a little deeper, I want to talk about the many different stories, because there's so many different stories surrounding this young woman that it's really hard to figure out who is who and what is what. And the reason I say that is because I did a video earlier showing how the only people so far who've given wishy-washy statements and wishy-washy stories are the police. The only people, just like now, I heard people tell me, well, the police, the cause of death, and the blah, 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 and then come to find out that there is no official cause of death yet. So, for all those who think that there is, I'm sorry to say, no, there is no official cause of death. No, the police came out and gave a statement of the cause of death. That is not a mystery. That is not conjecture. The police came out and gave a statement for the cause of death. That's real talk. So, if the police give a statement already for the cause of death, when did said how she was going to give this drink to that girl, I guess referring to Kenneka. Why would she make a big deal about that drink? Maybe the drink had a roofie in it or some sort of date rape drug. Who knows? The point is, here we are with another story. Here we are with another alleged this would happen to Kenneka Jenkins. Because I'll tell you everything I've heard. While I get over it. I've heard that it was organ stealing. That when she got to the hospital, all her organs were gone. I don't know where people got that shit from. What official report you got that her organs was gone? Okay, that's one story. Number two, I heard that she was drunk and walked into a freezer. Okay. Number three, I heard that there was some girl stealing / organ stealing syndicate going on, and Kenneka Jenkins was just another victim of that. You know what I'm saying? That this government conspiracies to steal people's bodies and organs and do sacrifices on young women, generally African American women, blah, 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 blah. I've heard that too. So now we're going to dive deeper into this brother situation and then this brother gangbanger situation. Now, let's first ask the convenience of this story and who first broke it. Shit, I just dropped something. The convenience of this story and who first broke it. Now, we're not clear at all on the who first broke this story. All we know is there's multiple YouTube pages and platforms that's popped up that's actually saying that this is the reason. Okay, that they're saying that the brother was involved in some sort of gang activity, and that's pretty much how that happened. Hold on 2 seconds, guys. Hello?
Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, you can. I could barely hear you. Can I get 2 steak biscuits? Steak, egg, and cheese biscuits, excuse me.
All right, can I get steak else for you?
Yeah, I can't hear nothing you saying, yo.
Can I get anything else for you?
No, that's all.
It'll be $8.75 every first one done.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, she hold on, yo. Let me pay for this shit.
Steak, egg, and cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I cannot hear nothing. Thank you. Yeah, they now it's her brother. Now, do I think that this is a possibility? Absolutely. Do I think that her brother could have been involved? The video that I seen, that I'll do another video once I get back home, and I'll play some of the audio from you, and I'll let you for you guys, and maybe you've seen it already, but it's a video with her brother speaking about fuck Chicago with his gang bandana tat rag on and this, that, and the third. That is neither here nor there for me, because that's not enough evidence to let me know that this nigga was important enough for niggas to be trying to body his sister from some shit he did, unless he's just one of them little young niggas who fucked up and killed somebody. Okay, so that's that. Now we're gonna explore this possibility. What are the odds that the stories of this woman, this young woman, being frozen to death by her own doing, having her organs stolen, being a part of some drug trap, some organ/girl stealing trafficking shit. It's like the possibility. Yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot, sweetheart. It's like the possibilities of that being true are great, I guess. But again, the timing is weird as fuck. And if that's the case, and if that is a legitimate possibility, which right now we're entertaining that that's a legitimate possibility, then why did the police not entertain that? How come the police have mentioned nothing about her brother in a retaliatory killing? How come they already came out before any of this shit came out about her brother in a retaliatory killing? They already came out and made statements, nigga. They already came out and said, nah, it ain't no retaliation. We ain't even entertaining the fact that it could be a retaliation killing. We're not entertaining this. We're not entertaining that. Not saying that they came out and said that we're not entertaining it. I'm just saying, for you to come out and do what you did and immediately give a statement and that's it, nothing more to see here type shit. Yo, why would you not investigate that? We're in Chicago. How come one of that shit isn't Chicago so dangerous? Like everybody says Chicago's so this and so that. So that should have been one of the very first things that came about, unless there was no trauma to the girl. And then if there's no trauma, no signs of murder, then we gotta believe that, and don't get me wrong here, I love black people, so please don't confuse what I'm saying, but we gotta believe that these knucklehead ass, dipshit ass little niggas is so clever and creative enough that they can murder somebody with no signs of a murder. When every other murder that's going on in Chicago is clear that it's a motherfucking murder. Now all of a sudden, we're not sure. So, for us to not be sure makes me wonder, how the fuck are the police so sure about something that's still in the air, that's like people are really unclear on? Where are they getting their clarity? And if they're clear, where the fuck are people getting all these stories? Are these stories being intentionally leaked? Are these stories being intentionally put out to throw us off, to throw everybody off, and have you wondering or thinking one thing that has nothing to do with what the fuck is actually going on? It's one thing that I'm going to keep saying about this whole situation. There's parts of this shit that are completely clear, and the rest is completely in the air. The part that is in the air is what actually fucking happened to this young girl. But the parts that are completely clear and that are in no way questionable as far as whether someone did or said this, are the statements that the police have given. And the statements thus far have been completely wishy-washy and completely here nor there. Because one minute you saying one thing, and the next minute there's evidence, tons of evidence, and people doing investigations on their own, uncovering more evidence, but yet you are not saying anything. You still have yet to come out and say, no, listen, everything that you guys are hearing is bullshit. And this is why it's bullshit, or whatever the case may be. This can be done. But they're not doing it. And like everyone who's ever mentioned the police in regards to this case, they, the same as me, they say the same thing that I say. That's why I kind of go off of the information, certain information that I get, because I listen to people who are actually listening. And the people who are actually listening, the way I'm listening, you'll clearly see that there's something fishy going on with the police and the statements that they're making. Now, am I sitting here at Shame TV East Watch saying that the police killed Kenneka Jenkins? Absolutely not. Am I trying to insinuate that the police killed this girl? Absolutely not. Okay, so let's get that out in the open. Let's have that clear and stated that, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I trying to say that Kenneka Jenkins was killed by the police and therefore the police are hindering the proceedings because they're the culprits behind her dying. No, that's not what I'm saying. So I'm saying that now as a semi-disclaimer to let everybody know that, again, that's not what the fuck I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is the fact that this young lady has a billion different stories surrounding her untimely death, and the authorities and or the police don't seem interested in getting to the bottom of it. Now, then I have to wonder why you're not interested in getting to the bottom of it. Is it purely apathy? You don't give a fuck? Or you don't have any goal to fix this situation at all? Those are not your goals? Or it's bigger than that? So, in my opinion, I sometimes feel that it's a little bigger and something else is going on, because no matter how racist people are, the police love catching people and putting them in jail because it ups their notch as a cop. It makes them look good. It makes them look like they're earning the money that they're stealing out of everybody's checks every year. Because nobody pays them shit. They steal the money out because the service that they provide, you wouldn't pay for that shit voluntarily. So, we're talking here, Kenneka Jenkins. We're talking about the myriad of stories, the multiple stories, the plethora, if you will, of stories surrounding this girl's untimely death. There's tons of these stories. But what we're not talking about is why the only people who have given definitive statements, all those statements, if you examine them, are contradictory to them, to their current position and other private investigations that have unearthed or unturned certain things. You have people bringing up Facebook posts, Instagram posts, Twitter, however the fuck these people were making videos. And they're honestly showing different angles of that evening. I'm not going to knock anybody because at the same time, at this current time, it doesn't seem like the police are interested in really getting to the bottom of this shit. It seems that the police have a conclusion, but don't want to share that shit with everybody else. It's not going to hurt their investigation to say that Kenneka Jenkins' brother was a gangbanger and this individual more than likely had people looking to retaliate towards him for some sort of fucked up thing he did to one of their people. Whether he killed somebody, robbed the wrong person, you know what I'm saying, whatever the fuck. Shot at the wrong person. Maybe he didn't kill anybody, but he shot at the wrong person or whatever. And now that's so serious that they ready to just take his life and take everybody else and his whole family to show a message to the whole street base of Chicago that they're hard and they don't play that shit and they'll kill your mother, your sister, your whatever. That is what that scenario is setting up to be. Now, before I continue, let me say this. For any brother and sister in Chicago, in Boston, in New York, in California, in Texas, and wherever the fuck you from, who feel that way, I think you a piece of shit, and I invite you to any gym, one-on-one, and I'll beat the fuck out of you. Because if you're going to take shit that serious in this hood, but you don't take serious systemic racism and what these people are doing to you every day in this school system, in these courtrooms and all that, and you don't have no retaliation for that, you a fucking piece of shit, you're a coon, and I'll fucking end you myself because you're a problem to my community. But getting back on track, you have the gang situation, which is very real in Chicago. You have retaliation amongst gang members that is very real in the hood. Same TV East Watch here. We only suspect that the timing of all this is crazy to start these stories circulating, as well as how that goes with the official story. Do you guys understand what I mean? Let me get a couple ones in the chat if you understand what I mean. If you understand that I'm trying to say that gang situation, though I don't know if it's real or not, I'm just trying to say that that's viable. That's a real situation that could have taken place unless the police don't want to consider that these black kids were so sophisticated in their murder that they were able to murder this girl by way of making it look like she murdered herself, by way of slipping her some sort of drug that they got their hands on and knew that it would cause this girl to walk off downstairs somewhere and do something to herself. Now that's a little far-fetched as well. But whatever, okay. The point is, possible foul play by way of a roofie, some sort of antidote slipped into your drink it's a possibility. It's only a possibility because of the unsurety in the way in which this girl died. Like, at the end of the day, the police could say what they want and people could repeat that story all they want. The point is, you don't fucking know that this girl walked into that fucking freezer and just sat down, that she was so dizzy and so fucked up and she was so hot that she ain't take her jacket off. You know what I'm saying? Because drunk people take clothes off. Drunk people take their clothes off all the time. So don't tell me that she's so drunk she wouldn't have taken her clothes off. But anyway, she's so hot from being high or intoxicated off of whatever the fuck is in her drink, or that she drunk or whatever, that she was just looking for some sort of coolness. And when she opened a big ass freezer door and got inside that bitch, she was like, oh man, let me sit down in here and let me know, like, come on, yo. Okay, whatever. That's a possibility as well. The point I'm saying is, it's just a fucking possibility. That is not definitive. And you don't have anything to say that that's definitive. The police have shown you nothing to say that this is what some person should just go off of and end the story, cut this case, no more talking about it. They've shown you nothing to support that, other than the possibility that, yeah, that could happen. But there's also a possibility that if we're going with all the stories, that, yeah, somebody could have taken her organs. That's why the police are so hesitant to this day, to this moment in time right now that we're talking about officially releasing everything that has to do with her death. Because you would just release it like you're supposed to do anyway, and that would be the end of that shit. That's not happening. Okay? That's not happening. What is happening are more and more and more and more what? possibilities. More and more possibilities are arising of what could have happened. And you cannot say that they're all bullshit. Because the evidence that you have to prove what you're going off of as not bullshit is really not that thick. It's really not that strong of a position to be coming from to tell me that my child is dead. This is why, end of story. That's not a strong position to be coming from. The official story of her, the first official story of her death. Let's call it that. The first official story, which is she walked into a freezer and killed herself via freezer and intoxication. That's not a strong enough position to come from. The camera does not show her going in the freezer, which creates immediately reasonable doubt. A huge amount of reasonable doubt is created immediately just off of that fact. See, that's what happens when you start applying facts to what you believe or might think happened. The fact of the matter is, we have not seen. Now, whether it's been edited or whatever, that's the fact of the matter is, nobody has actually seen her go into a freezer. So that creates reasonable doubt. Okay? Oh. That creates what is called reasonable doubt. So I just want to know what everybody thinks, man. These are the things that I hear all the time surrounding this case. I feel ill-equipped to even deal with it because there's so many stories. Like, I know that some of y'all know, but there's so many different fucking stories, yo, that I have no idea what to believe is accurate or could be the closest to accurate. No idea. Because nobody knows shit. Except that the police have been telling us wishy-washy shit. So now I have to question you because you're the only one who's coming out saying things. Shame TV Eastwatch. What's a Google Talk account? Darkman X. I don't even know what that is. Or you talking about my calling? Because I can't do it while I'm doing my live stream. Oh, Hangout, Google Hangout. Yeah, I think I got that, but I'd rather do that when I'm on my when I'm at my house and not using my phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that, man. We could set something up, man. Right now, man, I'm out running around real quick. We out running around, so I got a couple places to stop. But when I get to my house, you know what I'm saying, I'll probably start up a stream and I'll just throw it in or whatever, however, shit. You could email me, man, if you want to. You could leave me your email, DarkmanX, and I'll hit you in the email when I get home and we'll do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a lot of shit going on with that, yo. A lot of people talking about it. It's a lot of different fucking stories. That's all I be saying. Why the fuck that shit keep coming out, G? It's a lot of different stories. I don't even need this shit for real, though. It's a lot of different stories, and I need to point out that there's a lot of different stories so that nobody gets confused when we're trying to get to the real of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people's shows that everyone's doing, I don't consider it conspiracy theory because like I said, it's too many different stories. So how you can't blame a person from jumping around or investigating this or looking at this and because it's like everybody's saying everything. But I just want to focus on definitive statements. And the only fucking people who making definitive fucking statements are the police. And the police not saying that they're the murderers, but saying, so that's not what I'm accusing them of. But what I'm saying is I'm accusing them of knowing that there's more to this than they're letting on. And that people are not fucking dumb. Whatever information we gonna find out, we gonna find out. So it ain't no sense in holding it. You're not protecting nobody unless it's bigger than we thought. The only reason I see you could be holding something in is because that you know that this situation is bigger than they thought. Maybe the drugs that was found in her system was a certain type of drug that was so scarce that it could have only come from a government official or this, that, and the third. Like, who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows, dog. Nobody wants to talk about who's in charge of the hotel. Nobody and then even if you do talk about that, nobody knows for sure that just because a person was like, but then it's neither here nor there. Shame TV East Watch, y'all. We're going to do another stream on this later. I'm going to get back at y'all. Peace. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go to the links in the homepage and buy a shirt. Or if you don't buy a shirt, just click on it and like it and share it. And hopefully someone else will. Peace, people.